Hi everyone, welcome to our first meeting. We're really happy to have you here. We've put in a lot of work for this quarter and this year, and we're really looking forward to showing you all of our workshops, events, and all of our projects for this coming year. So a little bit about who we are. As an organization, we bring together interdisciplinary teams and offer them the resources and skills necessary to identify and answer challenges in the medical community. We strive to inspire innovation and provide opportunities for our members to gain independence, experience, and leadership skills. And this is something that we've been working on as a team and something that we really do stand by. And we're fully intending to make sure that we uphold this mission statement as something that we hold ourselves accountable to. We want to make sure that despite the virtual environment, we're still providing you an experience that is indicative of what Cal Poly does and our hands-on culture here. And while we can't be as hands-on as we'd like to, we still want to provide opportunities and projects for new students. That way they can get the new experience that they would want and that they can apply to new and different classes. This is a little bit about us. We'll just give a quick little introduction about ourselves. My name is Kaisei Takita, and I'm going to be the president this year, and I'm a third-year biomedical student.
Hi, I'm Ali. I'm going to be the vice president, and I'm also a third-year BMed.
Hi, I'm Lily. I'm a third-year BMed. I am the secretary.
And then Emily and Jack aren't here right now, but Emily is second-year general, switching to mechanical engineering. She's going to be our treasurer, and is also third-year BMed, and he's our web. Okay, so our workshops are going to be sort of our regular meetings, 3 to 4 p.m. Mondays this quarter. And they'll kind of range from being more of a presentation format to an interactive group format, a group work format. So our first one, What is BMed, is going to be more of a seminar where we just kind of go over different topics in the field of BMed and have a couple different upperclassmen there so you can ask questions about what classes to take and just general career stuff. And then later on, we'll have kind of more project/skill-based workshops like project management and SolidWorks, where you'll have a chance to sort of deal with test scenarios and sort of like, for example, for project management, organize a timeline for an example project, or for SolidWorks, model like something in your house, something like that. And then each week in our email, we're going to send out what resources are required, like if you needed SolidWorks access before the workshop. That way you're prepared before the workshop. And then if it's like a group work type of thing, we'll probably put you in breakout rooms with a helper in each room, or we'll just have it be sort of the seminar format. And then following each workshop, we're going to try to post our presentation at the very least, and then any materials that go along with it. That way that you can sort of practice the skills that you learned or just go over anything that you missed during the workshop.
And interspersed within these workshops, we will be having socials on Mondays at 8 p.m., probably till 9:30, 10, depending on how long the film, documentary, something from Netflix show, however long that lasts. And then afterwards, we'll do like a Q&A discussion where we can talk about what the ethics are behind the video on the medical field was, what the impact the devices had, why there wasn't research, why are the FDA involved, what did the FDA do? And so for this quarter, we will be going into the bleeding edge, which is about the FDA approval process, fire in the blood, pharmaceuticals, coronavirus explained, which Dr. Hawkins actually recommended. And November 16th is a little up in the air. We might do a study session or watch a little bit more of a lighthearted film, kind of whatever's the club feels feels like we could do. And that's how those will go.
Okay, and so now we're just going to go through each of the projects, and each of the project leads are going to give you a brief description of what they're doing.
So hi, as we've already said, I'm Lily. I will be the project lead for the pain evaluation project, which is looking into pain disparities found in medicine to develop a tool and protocol for addressing pain and pain treatment/management. And this is as a result of the great disparities in how different genders, races, ethnicities, different cultures, et cetera, are treated by doctors. And there are different pain ways people communicate pain. There are different ways doctors perceive the way patients communicate pain. And studies have shown that whenever you standardize this process, a lot of those errors are reduced and they remove a lot of the adverse preventable events that occur as a result. So we will be working on standardizing it, making it less objective, and more sensitive to cultural diversity and appropriate to the US, at least for now. And this will probably require some graphical design, some surveys, some statistical analysis, but that'll all be in project planning. So.
Sorry. Next, this project is the blood pressure heart rate monitor project. It's led by Ishan, but unfortunately, due to some technical difficulties, he's not able to meet with you all today. But he sent me a nice little description of his project, and I'll go ahead and read that for you now. So last quarter, we started a blood pressure heart rate monitor project. We started this project to develop a low-cost and effective way to monitor your blood pressure and heart rate. Today, many people in the world suffer from hypertension and have to measure their blood pressure multiple times per day using an uncomfortable cuff method. Our goal is to use a cuffless method to do the same thing that costs under $50. Additionally, we hope to develop an app that complements the device so that users can see the results with ease. Our approach is to use the signal processing techniques ECG and PPG to do so. The first quarter, we found equations we can use to find blood pressure and heart rate consistently and accurately using these techniques. After that, we researched products that have already been available on the market and purchased them. We have multiple components that we purchased already, and our plan before COVID was to have a working prototype before the school year ended. We have a lot of funding and a lot of work to do still. Some areas of help we need is app development, data acquisition, and analysis using the equations and code and electrical configurations. If you have any questions, contact Ishan. So I didn't work on this project personally, however, I did hear about it from him, and it's a really interesting project, and I think it's really applicable because that cuff that a lot of times is used in the doctor's office, even though they have some devices that can be taken home for use, they still have that large cuff, and it can be pretty, it's not very comfortable. It can take a lot of time sometimes, and especially for some people who might, for older folks who are using it, it may become more difficult for them to either go to the doctor's office or have to use a device on their own. And this device would help allow them to have an easier way of being able to make sure they monitor the blood pressure and heart rate without putting any extra stress on them. But if you have any more questions, please contact Ishan at his email on the screen. And also you can contact the NEC email if you have any interest in being a team lead.
Okay, and so the next project I've been leading for the past year, and it's a wearable electrolyte monitor. And the issue it's kind of trying to confront is that electrolyte imbalance is tested using a blood test typically, and that's not really something you can do multiple times per day or at home, which is what some people need to monitor their own electrolytes. So our goal is to create a wearable device, kind of like a smartwatch, that'll measure your electrolyte level without anything fancy, without any, medical professional to help you. So the concept for this device is to integrate an ion sensing electrode, which measures the concentration of an electrolyte in a solution, and then an iontophoresis device, which basically uses electrical current to move charged particles through a barrier like your skin barrier, and use those to sort of like pull the electrolyte out of your bloodstream, and measure the concentration in which it's coming out in order to sort of infer your blood electrolyte concentration. And I know this seems like a little bit like techie and daunting, but if you're at all interested, feel free to let me know. My email's on the slide, but I'm definitely interested in, explaining it to other people and getting more people involved. So
This project is one that I was leading last year. It's the Epipen Redesign, and as the name implies, what we were trying to do is redesign the Epipen as it's currently designed. A lot of people know what the Epipen looks like that don't actually know how to use it. You can see on the picture of it, there's a lot of writing and diagrams on it. But realistically, if you're someone that doesn't know how to use an EpiPen and your friend or family member is in need of it, if you can't properly use it, you can actually be putting them at more risk than actually helping them. And that's something that this current design doesn't really address, is ease of use. Not to mention it's quite bulky and rather expensive for a one-time use product. It can go upwards of $300, and especially when patients don't have insurance or any other type of aid, it can be very difficult for them to gain access to these, especially since they can expire and their shelf life is rather limited. So our goal of this project was to create something that was smaller, less expensive, and also had the detail of being a needleless design. So another thing that a lot of people feel negatively about EpiPens is the big needle. And anyone that's seen an EpiPen with the needle out knows it's pretty big and pretty daunting, especially for anyone who's afraid of needles. So if someone is afraid of, getting a doctor shot, think of this big old needle jamming right into your leg. It's very daunting and can actually discourage them from using this product that's supposed to help save them. So our goal and concept right now is to use a CO2 cartridge that will actually inject the epinephrine needlessly, and this will be into the intermuscular layer. And our current concept of design is to have a twist mechanism. And if anyone in here is familiar with mountain bike riding, you might know that there are gas cartridges where you'll put it into the tube where you put in the air, you twist it, and that punctures the cartridge. Then you'll do a half twist back, because then that will let the threads will retract a bit, and you can allow the air to come out, and it'll pump that air into the bicycle. It'll be a similar concept here, but instead of pumping just CO2, we'll be using that to propel the epinephrine inside the device into your body. And this way, we won't even need to use a needle because of how thin the stream will be and how fast and how pressurized it will be. It'll be able to go in between the membrane and actually go right into the area that's best applied for, and it'll actually have a better spread as opposed to a needle. But if anyone is interested in this project, becoming a team member or even being a co-lead, my email is right down there at the bottom of the page. And I really do think this is a really interesting project and something that is super common for people, and something that's really been lacking innovation for quite a while, especially with the way the EpiPen has been branded. There hasn't been a lot of competition for it, and because of that, there hasn't been a need to redesign it. However, that doesn't mean a product is perfect as it is. And so if anyone is interested in trying to make this a better product for a lot of people who really need this product, but they either don't have access to it or its current design is very inaccessible for them, please reach out, and I'd be more than happy to hear you out and see your interest.
Okay, and so our big event coming up, this is probably one of the most important meetings we have of the year, is our ideation meeting. And this is where we sort of brainstorm and get ideas for the projects that we run. And so that's going to be Saturday, the 26th of September, 12 to 2 p.m. And the structure of this meeting is that we break up people into groups, and in each group you sort of start by brainstorming issues in the medical field and just like writing them all down. And then we'll tell everyone, okay, move on to the next round. And then you start brainstorming solutions to each of the issues you've written out. And then in the final round, you sort of work with your group to narrow down and decide which projects you feel strongest about and which ones you're going to present to the entire group. And so then everyone comes together and presents the ideas that they've come up with, and we sort of take a vote on them to gauge interest. And then the voting will sort of influence which project we choose. We're going to try to have at least one new project this year, but it's not, the end all be all for which project is chosen, so don't worry about that. And then applications to lead a new project for this year will be sent out at the end of this meeting. So it is mandatory that you attend this meeting if you want to be a team lead. If you have a time conflict, obviously you can let us know and we can work something out. But we really want you to be there if you are going to be a team lead. And then it's highly recommended if you want to be part of a team, even if you want to be part of an existing team, just to figure out if there is something you might be interested in. And so that's that. We'll send out in our next email more information about the meeting to come. And then just as a recap for how you can be involved in the club, we have the pain evaluation and wearable electrolyte monitor projects. And for those, you can join as a team member. And then for the blood pressure project and Epipen Redesign project, you can either apply to be project lead / co-lead or join as a member. And then the last opportunity would be to come up with your own project and bring it to ideation, pitch it to people, and then sort of apply for it, and we'll choose projects. And then if your project isn't chosen, we highly encourage you to still try to join one of the existing projects because we do want you to be involved in the club still.
So that's about it. Here's our contact information. I know a lot of you are still on the email list from last year. However, we also have a project interest sign up that's available on the forms listed. We highly encourage you to show any interest in any projects, any project proposals. Also, please check out our website at medicaldesign.calpoly.edu. Recently, we've gotten a whole brand new website. Our webmaster Jack has been really hard at work, and he's really done a lot to make sure our website is fluid and easy for you and everyone to use. And we'll have this slideshow posted, and also have all events, content from events, workshops, projects. All of that will be available for you to see on the website. Our email is at mbc@calpoly.edu. Feel free to contact us through there. And we also have our Instagram at medical_design_club. And we also have a Microsoft Groups team coming soon. This will be primarily for people who are on projects, and our main form of communication will be through email. But if you are on a project, then we highly encourage you to become involved in the Microsoft Groups team, as that's the main way we communicate with our team members. But now we'd like to open the floor for any questions, Q&A, and anything you might have, any more questions you might have.
Oh, and I just want to add, we don't have like a public link to join the teams right now, so you'll have to reach out to a project you want to join to get into that.